Um, I'm on camera. I just had an idea and I just lost it. It's kind of like me, typing in Tim and Eric earlier, and I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to look at, which was Duckman, and and this other idea pops up. I just woke up, and my mom was like, "Come on up front and eat," like a couple of hours before that, and I went up front, and I'm like, I can't eat anything greasy anymore because it gives me a headache, and I'm getting tired of having headaches, and and then she made this post on Facebook about right after we went food shopping about what to eat healthy, and she wrote all this stuff that she was gonna cook, and I can't eat hamburger. It's too greasy. I can't eat saturated fat. It's too much for me. Were you trying to kill me or something? It's not that intent, and I know she would take that the wrong way, but I just hate it. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was how I got up, and I kind of knew that nobody checked the mailbox today, so I went outside. Yeah, it's like almost 11 o'clock, so that was like an hour and 30 minutes ago. I go outside, and I can notice the lights on in my neighbor's house, and I've been in his house before, and I used to hang out and watch TV with him and stuff, and they used to talk about guns, and we used to drink and hang out and stuff, and his room light was on, and I saw the blinds, and the blinds looked raggedy as hell, and I just glanced at it, and I just thought it was kind of weird, and I walked back to the mailbox because it was nice outside, and it's real nice. It gets real cool like late at night and stuff, and come to find out there was like an envelope with my mom's name on it in there. So I walked back, and I kind of felt like somebody was watching me. You ever had that feeling like you were being watched, while I was walking past my neighbor's house? But I just had the feeling I was being watched. If they figured out, I was looking at that window, they probably look at me like, oh, he's a peeping Tom. When I'm not. If I was a peeping Tom, I would have been outside of their window. And if I was one, really. Anywho, I came back in here and I saw the spaghetti. I was like, I can't eat that. And then on top of that, it's like nobody else ate it. So that just freaks me out. Like, if there's so many people in here, you got 6 people in here, and nobody touches the spaghetti. That's freaking weird. And there's some corn in there. I'm gonna probably give me some corn and eat the corn, because that makes my head feel better. But I just hate eating saturated food. Like, you put a lot of salt in food, you put a lot of sugar in food. I just don't want to eat that shit because it's just nasty as hell, and it's just gonna make my heart beat all funny, and it's gonna make my throat hurt. And then this bottled water, the Pure Life from Nestle, that shit hurts my throat. Makes me feel like I'm sick. Makes me feel like I got a cold. Makes me have a sore throat, and I can't drink that shit. And she was like, hey, you want to get this? And I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and get it. Not knowing that I should have just spoke up and said, this stuff makes my throat hurt, let's get something else. And it's just hard for me to talk to people because if they're fussing and yelling all the time, it's hard for me to talk to them. And that's what I got to deal with. I got to deal with somebody that yells at the top of their lungs and gets irritated very easily and is really aggressive when they talk. And it's like a no-win situation. Just like the dish thing situation. If you saw this, why didn't you do something? Well, if you're looking at it now, why aren't you doing anything? It's just a no-win. And on top of that, if you mess up dishes and you want to set rules around the dishes, why are you gonna let me know when I already know what's going on? You gonna invite people here to mess up dishes, and you gonna look at me Like, I'm the one that's supposed to go in there and clean up behind them, when they should just ask me and say, Gary, could you wash my dishes for me? Because I don't have enough time, because I have all these kids and I have to take them to the car, and I can't just drop them off there and then come back here. It just doesn't cross their mind that way. And it's a problem for me, because I'm the one yelled at, because I'm looked at like I'm the person that's doing all this stuff. And I just stay in my room, because I just hate dealing with it. I keep my cup in here, and I keep my bowl in here. And I just hate having to clean up after people, especially if I'm being yelled at for something that I ain't do. And yeah, I'm 28 years old. I turned 29 this year. I think it's real funny that I have to deal with this, because they're not considerate. They're not thinking about me. They're thinking about themselves. They call me selfish. They're the ones that are selfish. And on top of that, if you work hard all day, what do you do all day that makes you work hard? It doesn't make you a hard worker because you sit somewhere for 12 hours. It doesn't sound logical, because you would have said something about how you work, at least. It doesn't make any sense. You got an easy job. And I don't want to get into it, because it just doesn't sound right. Because I shouldn't be mad over it, and I'm not mad over it. And it just sounds like I'm mad over it when I'm not, because there's other shit to worry about and other shit to think about.